The skies darkened over New Denver on that autumn morning, not with storm clouds, but with the hulking shadows of alien warships. They appeared without warning, massive vessels that blocked the sun and cast the city into an artificial twilight. For 3 days, they hovered in silence, a quiet threat looming over humanity. Captain James Miller stood on the roof of the United Earth Defense Headquarters, his weathered face grim as he stared upward through binoculars. Beside him, Commander Lisa Hayes monitored incoming data streams from observatories worldwide. They're positioning themselves over every major city, she reported. Moscow, Beijing, London, Tokyo, all reporting the same formation patterns. Miller lowered his binoculars. Is still no response to our transmissions? None, sir. Just silence. The invasion began at dawn on the fourth day. Not with weapons, but with a message that resonated in every electronic device across the planet. Surrender your world or face extinction. You have one planetary rotation to decide. The alien emissaries called themselves the Vorn, a spacefaring collective that had conquered 17 worlds across 3 star systems. Their technology was centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. Their soldiers stood 3 meters tall, with exoskeletons that could withstand conventional weapons. Their ships carried enough firepower to glass continents. In the emergency United Nations session that followed, voices of surrender emerged from many corners. We cannot win this fight, the French ambassador argued. They've conquered multiple civilizations. What chance do we have? Miller, representing Earth's military forces, stood alone when he took the podium. Humanity does not kneel, he said simply. Not to tyrants, not to conquerors, not to gods, and certainly not to aliens who demand our home without even the courtesy of a proper conversation. The vote was narrow, but decisive. Earth would stand its ground. When the Vorn deadline arrived, the alien commander, a being called Drav, appeared on screens worldwide, mandibles clicking in what humans would later learn was amusement. Your species has courage, Drav transmitted. Foolish, but admirable. Your resistance will be documented in our archives before your extinction. The first assault targeted military installations. Orbital strikes from Vorn ships destroyed bases in seconds. Earth's most advanced fighter jets were swatted from the sky like insects. Missile defense systems crumbled under alien weaponry. But something unexpected happened during those initial attacks. Humanity didn't break. They adapted. In underground bunkers beneath the Rockies, Dr. Tom Reed and his team worked frantically to analyze Vorn technology from debris collected at attack sites. What they discovered changed everything. Their shields, Reed explained to Miller over a secure channel. They operate on quantum frequency patterns, predictable patterns. If we can synchronize our weapons to those frequencies, within 48 hours, Earth's remaining defense forces had modified their armaments. When Vorn ground troops landed outside Chicago, expecting minimal resistance, they instead encountered weapons that could penetrate their previously impervious armor. For the first time in their conquests, the Vorn suffered casualties. Drav, observing from orbit, increased the assault. Cities burned. Millions perished, but in bunkers and makeshift labs across the planet, humanity's greatest minds worked together, sharing breakthroughs and implementing countermeasures with remarkable speed. The tide began to turn when Reed's team developed a virus that could infiltrate Vorn ship systems. Fighter pilot Kate Wilson volunteered for what many considered a suicide mission, flying directly at the flagship over Paris with the digital payload. Her fighter was hit multiple times, engines failing as she approached the massive vessel. With her last moments of control, she crashed directly into a vulnerable section identified by Reed's analysis. The virus uploaded. The flagship's systems faltered. For 11 crucial minutes, its weapons went offline. Earth's remaining forces seized that window, launching everything they had at the compromised vessel. When the flagship fell from the sky into the empty countryside outside Paris, humans worldwide heard something new in the Vorn transmissions. Uncertainty. The ground war intensified. Vorn troops were still formidable but no longer invincible. In the ruins of Los Angeles, Commander Hayes led a guerrilla force that captured a Vorn command center. In Tokyo, civilians using modified construction equipment managed to bring down a Vorn assault craft. Each victory, however small, rippled through human resistance networks. Each defeat taught them something new about their enemy. On the 30th day of the war, Earth trembled, not from alien bombardment, but from humanity's coordinated counterattack. Reed's team had finally cracked the Vorn communication protocols. Miller used this breakthrough to broadcast a false retreat order to all Vorn forces, creating momentary confusion in their ranks. In that brief window of disarray, Earth's remaining military assets struck simultaneously across all fronts. The losses were staggering on both sides, but when the dust settled, 3 more Vorn vessels had fallen. Drav requested communication with Earth's leaders for the first time since the invasion began. Your species was incorrectly assessed, the alien commander transmitted. 17 worlds before you submitted to inevitability. None adapted as you have. None fought with such creativity. Miller represented humanity in the response. We are offering you one chance to leave our system intact. Otherwise, we continue until none of your ships remain. The Vorn fleet departed Earth's orbit 48 hours later, their remaining vessels limping toward the stars. In the aftermath, as humanity began rebuilding, Miller stood again on the headquarters roof, now partially collapsed from battle damage. Hayes joined him, bandaged but alive. They'll return someday, she said, possibly with reinforcements. Miller nodded, and we'll be ready, because now they know what we know. What's that? He gestured toward the workers already clearing rubble, the scientists comparing notes, the global cooperation happening despite the devastation. That humanity doesn't just survive. We adapt, we learn, we stand our ground. In orbit above them, Earth's first deep space defense satellites were already being deployed. Built with repurposed Vorn technology, humanity had been bloodied and scarred, but they had been hardened too. And the universe beyond would soon learn what the Vorn now knew. Earth was not to be taken lightly.